modern royal couple, but that easel has been tradition for many generations, and we will see it later on today at Buckingham Palace, where I'm sure the crowds will begin to gather to see the announcement of birth, as it's been displayed for many years before today.
What do we normally see on that?
It is the birth announcement, so it'll be the weight, the sex, and the time of the birth.
Yeah.
And signed, of course, by all of that medical team who've clearly done the most fantastic job today.
Again, same medical team as last time.
Same medical team, led by Guy Thorpe Beeston, that's Catherine's obstetrician, and seconded by Alan Farthing. Of course, the Queen's surgeon gynaecologist, Marcus Setchell, retired after the birth of Prince George, but she's been in incredibly capable hands, and, you know, as I repeat, under 3 hours, my goodness,
do you think
she's
we
done
might
well.
see them today?
Well, look, she's had it so quickly, there is no reason, I suspect, why they couldn't come out today. I guess it's ultimately how she's feeling now, and if she feels well enough to come out, face all of us. I know I'd want to get home if I could. Who wants to stay in a hospital for a night if you don't have to?
And the other big question is what was going to happen as far as George is concerned?
Well, I think we're all hoping that George might come here to visit his new little sister. He's at home at Kensington Palace being looked after by his nanny and the grandparents. It would be wonderful to see.
Is that where he is at the moment?
But let's not forget that this is a couple who have kept Prince George out of the limelight ever since he was born. He's only been seen in this country leaving this hospital. Will they bring him back today? We'll just have to wait and see.
Okay, so that everybody's pushing this way just to see the town crier again, who has just announced to the world that we have been safely delivered of a royal princess, Princess Cambridge.
Well, I think people around the country are going to be celebrating. Not only the people have put so much money on this. I mean, everyone seemed to think it was going to be a girl, so the bookies are going to be paying out today.
There we go. Hi. So read that announcement to us again.
I was just taking a photograph. Let me get it up again. Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Cambridge, was safely delivered of a daughter.
Every syllable.
Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Cambridge, was safely delivered of a daughter at 8:34 a.m. The baby weighs 8 pounds 3 ounces. The Duke of Cambridge was present for the birth. The Queen, the Duke of Edinburgh, the Prince of Wales, the Duchess of Cornwall, Prince Harry, and members of both families have been informed and are delighted with the news. Her Royal Highness and her child are both doing well.
I always said it was going to be a girl.
Now she changes her tune.
Let's take those blue coats off, ladies.
Exactly. Great news, isn't it? You're live on Sky at the moment.
I don't speak English.
No,
I'm from German.
Okay, well, I remember what happened last time.
Wonderful.
It's a girl.
Yeah.
Fantastic news.
Yeah, it's
What do you
fantastic.
think?
Oh, it's great news.
Yeah, it is
we came over
great.
from Ireland.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you think it would happen quite so quickly?
Not really, but we were here last night waiting, and we went away and came back this morning. Myself and my daughter.
Hi.
Delighted.
At least it's a little princess.
Yeah.
Do you think we might see her today?
No.
No, I think you're right. Hi, you're live on Sky. Exciting news.
Yeah, it is exciting. I just want to say congratulations to the royal family.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the princess.
It's fantastic news.
It is
Thank
fantastic.
you. Hi.
Absolutely delighted. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Wait, did you have any money on it being a girl?
No, I'm not a gambling man, so I've saved my money. I would have said it was a boy, though.
I said it was a boy, sadly,
Yeah.
but never mind. I've got
Great
people
minds
underneath.
think alike.
Exactly. Or Phil seldom differ. They say that as well. Hi, you're live on Sky. Great news.
Great news.
Were you expecting a girl?
Congratulations. Of course.
Yeah.
It had to be a girl.
It had to be a girl, yeah.
right.
Quite so quickly, though?
Well, yeah, because we just came this moment, so it's just arrived.
They were
at the
waiting for
moment.
you.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right.
Don't think we'll see it today, though, do you?
Oh, no.
No, maybe tomorrow. Come again tomorrow.
Yeah,
maybe
okay,
we'll
I
see the
will.
baby then. So, you can see Alistair's here. Fantastic news.
It is tremendous. The Queen will be delighted, and so will the Middletons. It's just fantastic, and another generation enhanced by the arrival of this princess. I'm always a bit old-fashioned, but I think it's quite sad that they announce safely delivered of a girl. She's safely delivered of a princess, and that's what's different about this as opposed to any other child's birth.
So, are you surprised at how busy it was?
I love the policeman. The moment the media started to move forward to watch that, he's trying to push us back now. But they just gave up when everybody came out to hear the town crier.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
I'm told it's not an official town crier.
No, we know
So,
that.
Yeah.
It works for us, though,
Definitely.
doesn't
It adds to the drama and the excitement, certainly.
He seldom misses an event like this.
No, exactly so. So she was delivered of the baby at
8:34.
Princess, of course.
Princess, 8:34 this morning. So we found out at 6:30 this morning that she'd arrived here at the Lindo wing at 6 o'clock this morning. So 2.5 hours, certainly a quicker labour than we saw with Prince George, where it was more like 10 hours. So
and fourth in line to the throne?
Fourth in line to the throne.
So who drops further down? Harry?
Prince Harry and all the others.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way it goes. But I don't think Prince Harry would mind one tiny jot, because this is just wonderful news for the family. He'll have heard, as we're told, he's been informed out in Australia. I mean, they must have woken him up in the middle of the night, pretty much. He's just gone to bed, or probably staying up late on his military training.
He's so important, isn't he, to both Kate and William. You can see they're such a close unit whenever you see them out on any sort of engagements together. And actually, when we had the briefing from the palace before we all started moving down to the hospital, they were saying that they did want to make sure that all of the members of the family, and I said to them, well, what about Prince Harry? He's all the way in Australia. And they said, oh, we're sure they'll want to tell him as well. So.
Okay, now it is a girl, but you were telling us before you rushed over to explain that it was a girl, that previously, if it had been a boy, he would have been fourth in line. If a girl, then would have totally dropped.
This is what's really interesting now, because of the change of the law. If the Cambridges have further children, and we wish them well if that's what they want, and they happen to have boys after this, for the first time ever in history, those boys who would be subsequently born would not take precedence over this wee princess. She will hold the position she holds now and will always hang on to it, because the British public, through Parliament, changed their view.
Okay, so how did that come about? What happened?
Well, basically, the Prime Minister thought it was outdated that we always gave the superior position to the primogeniture male, that any male would take precedence over any female. And only when all the males had gone would you then pass the crown to a woman. That's now finished with. He raised it at a Commonwealth meeting of heads of government, and all the countries of which the Queen is head of state, of which there are 16, all agreed that it was time to change that. They all had to do it together, because you couldn't have a situation where some countries changed it and some didn't, because then you'd suddenly have a division in the crown. So it's worked, it's been done, and we're going to see that come into effect now. We have a princess in the direct line.
And we'll see Grandad maybe come later?
Well, I was just going to say, there's a couple of things that I can now sort of tell you. Our understanding that the delay between the birth and the announcement, so the birth was obviously at 8:30 this morning. We didn't find out until sort of 11:10. Apparently that delay was because they wanted to tell their families. That's no surprise, and I think we've been told that was always going to be the case.
They're expecting quite a few people to come along, as you can see. Just watch your head there. They're bringing the barriers in, because that would tend to suggest that we will see the royal baby at some stage, either today or tomorrow, and they will once again pose for that image. There had been some suggestions they wouldn't, but I'd bet my house they will.
Yeah, and I think it was also, we saw that rush. As soon as you saw the town crier on the steps there was like a huge rush of all of the international media. Yeah, exactly. Huge numbers of people rushing forward. And I think now they've thought, right, we need to get some more barriers in, because, of course, the interest is just going to grow. Also, we understand that we will get some sort of update later this afternoon about whether or not there'll be any visitors today. Obviously, last time you were here, Kay, and we saw Prince Charles arrive. We also saw the Middletons as well.
And then Charles and Camilla came after that.
And also, we understand that we should get some kind of update later on about when they're likely to go home. So, yeah.
No, today.
Well,
exactly.
Very good.
We're likely to get an update later about when they're likely to be discharged. Whether that's going to be today or tomorrow, we'll have to wait and see. Okay. But hopefully we will get some updates as we go on. We'll keep talking to those the press team from Kensington Palace.
Our way all the time. So if you're just tuning our way, we learned about 11:10 that the prince and princess have had a baby princess. All is very well. Happened around about 8:30 this morning, but you want the formal announcement, don't you?
Yeah, let's read it to you again. Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Cambridge was safely delivered of a daughter at 8:34 a.m. The baby weighs 8 pounds 3 ounces.
She's another whopper though, isn't she?
Well, yes, she is, because Prince George was 8 pounds 6 ounces. So, and she's such a slight lady as well, but to have a very large baby there. The Duke of Cambridge was present, so Prince William was there, so that's lovely. The Queen, the Duke of Edinburgh, the Prince of Wales, the Duchess of Cornwall, Prince Harry, and members of both families have been informed, and of course are delighted with the news. Her Royal Highness and her child are doing well.
You did that beautifully, but this is how the town crier did it.
Oh yay! Oh yay! Oh yay! On this day, the 2nd of May, in the year 2015, we welcome with humble duty the second born of their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and